Hi guys, welcome. This is going to be a general reading. It is timeless, so you can watch it at any time whenever you're feeling called to read it. Something will likely resonate with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. So let's see what Spirit has for you guys. Ooh, first card that jumped out. Effortless. So this card is coming up. I feel like someone's going through a really big life change, and this is a sign that it's going to be effortless. It will be enjoyable. There'll be a natural flow. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit turbulent at the beginning, or it's going to feel challenging. So that's why this is coming up to let you know that ultimately it will become effortless. But I do feel like it's going to be smooth sailing sooner rather than later. And specifically, I'm feeling like there's someone who's going to be watching that is feeling like you're wanting to give up because it seems really difficult. But sometimes when you're starting something new, it can be really difficult. It can feel exhausting. It can feel like it is a lot of work initially, but once you get through those first like infancy stages of the change, then you get into a smooth flow with it. You get into a natural rhythm and cycle with it. So this is just letting you know that the process is meant to be effortless. It will be effortless. And also it's a sign to just go with the flow, whatever this process is. And specifically, yeah, if this is something that you're feeling like if it's a life change that's out of your hands, or a life change that has come up but was not your decision, this is another sign to just go with that flow. If things are naturally flowing a certain way, the more you honor and respect and settle into that flow, the quicker you'll get to something that is meant for you. You'll get to that place where there is peace and where it is effortless. Okay, Spirit, what else do you have for us this reading? It came out quick too. Enlightenment. Seek wise counsel and spiritual teaching. Important if you're wanting to facilitate this change and navigate it more smoothly. If you are needing assistance with it, let's say it's a change that is a financial one, it's important to seek out resource. It's important to seek out resources and learn as much as you can about what you're going through, about the process. Look to those who have already been through what you're going through. If it's finances, for example, perhaps you want to get a financial consultant, seek out resources. If you can't afford a financial consultant, definitely check with your financial institution or your bank or someone that you know that's good with money that you can get sound advice from. Yeah, I do feel like, this is really just a call for you guys to just seek out any resources and information you can so that you're better equipped to deal with the changes you're having to navigate. And then again, you can get to that place very quickly or much more quickly where it is just effortless and a nice flow. Spirit, what else do you have for us today? God, guides, angels, give us a message we can easily understand. Give us something that will be resonant. Ooh, a few cards came out that time. Choices. Make choices that are best for you. So this is only going to be after you guys have gotten that information. This is going to be after you seek out counsel, get the information that you're needing, make sure you have a good knowledge base for what you're having to go through. And then at that point, you'll be positioned better to make any choices that you're needing. And this is also calling to make choices that are best for you. If you are feeling like you are being influenced by someone or pushed toward a certain direction, if this is a change that's mainly going to be impactful to your life, it's really important that you're honoring the choice that you want to make and you're doing what's best for you, regardless of what anyone else says, even if they are giving good advice. If your gut is telling you to do something else, it's important that you follow it, because that's not just your gut, that's your intuition, and you can count on it, you can rely on it, and that's a really good, that's what you should be looking to as the deciding factor for which way you're going to go, if there is a decision that's needing to be made here or a choice that does have to be finalized. Also, celebration. Time to let go and have fun. So I don't know if the same people are, I mean, if we're happening to like be on this week or since I've started the channel, but some of these cards are repeats. So someone might be watching and you're still needing that message that it's time to celebrate. It's important to let go and have fun, especially if you're going through something turbulent, something challenging or difficult. The more you celebrate, the more the universe and the divine can bring to you other things to celebrate. Because when you celebrate and you're in the joy and excitement and appreciation and gratitude of something, that's what it takes to bring more of those celebratory events into your life. Again, we got the waterfall, and then here, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Let things happen for you. Let things happen for you. They are not happening to you. Don't resist what feels natural. Don't resist a flow. If you feel one coming on, if you feel like, gosh, this doesn't feel good right now and I'm feeling unsettled in it, but my instinct, my intuition is telling me this might be for my highest good, or there might be a reason behind this that's going to benefit me that I can't yet see on this side of it. So try to surrender, relax, release, go with the flow. There are a lot of good mantras and meditations that you guys can utilize as well. On YouTube, there are some really phenomenal affirmational videos for surrender and allow. Specifically, there's a channel called Live the Life You Love. That is my favorite. And just this woman's voice is so incredibly nurturing. And she's got really amazing, really good affirmational videos. But what's so great about them is that you can actually play them during the night. They're like 8 or 9 hours long. Some of them are even 11 hours long. But you can play them at night so they get embed directly to your subconscious mind. So you don't really have to do any work other than just play it while you're sleeping at night. But definitely you're being called to work on that. Just work on surrendering and allowing. Allow the universe to deliver things to you. Allow the divine to work for you and with you in co-creating. Also, you can just reaffirm things yourself daily or write down just as many times as you can until it starts to sink in and it's just in your head. I surrender and allow. I go with the flow. Now, this doesn't mean go with the flow that's like a messed up flow, or if something, for example, is dysfunctional or harmful to you, or if you're in an abusive situation. This is not just go with every single flow, but you'll know what that flow is. You'll get some sort of message or sign, or you'll feel something innately knowing specifically that's the flow you're meant to go with. Okay, let's see what else we have. Spirit, give us a message. Oh, that one. This came out again. A lot of these are recurring themes, so I don't know if it's because we're at the full moon time or Mercury retrograde, but some of these have come up multiple times in the past few days. Be yourself. The situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. Again, being yourself, honoring self, that's where you're going to gain confidence. You're going to also gain the inspiration that you need to move forward, to take action. You'll also at that point start to get more messages from the divine. The more true you are to yourself, the more you honor self, respect self, love self, the clearer that channel to the spirit world becomes. And at that point, you'll be receiving messages all the time, as often as you want. We're always getting messages anyway, but a lot of times those messages are clouded by the voices that we create in our minds, or the voices of other people that we allow to cloud our mind. And the more secure you are with self and being self, the much easier it is to read that direction that you would receive from the spiritual realm, and specifically from your guides. Okay, Spirit, what else do you have for us? Oh, that one came. Laughter. Cards don't want to stay up. Laughter has come up. You need a good laugh. This one came up in the reading yesterday. That's so funny. You guys need to just lighten up, watch a movie, especially if things are really heavy. If you're feeling really burdened by something, laughter is a great way to break that energy up. It's a really high vibrational frequency when you're in laughter. Watch a comedian if you have access to Netflix. Look through the comedies. Actually, what's coming up is that for this one, you guys are actually being called to watch something that's like an older film. Yeah, like a funny older film that you perhaps haven't seen in a while or haven't seen since like you were a kid, or just something that is really funny that you haven't seen in a while so that you're actually present while you're watching it, or something that you've been wanting to see that's funny. And I say that because when you're really in your head about things, especially if you're going through some major life changes, as I feel are happening here, you want to do things that are where it's easy to focus, and it naturally takes your mind off the heavier stuff. And sometimes even if we're watching something new, you ever notice how you can just get through a movie and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember it because you're so in your head? Well, if you're watching something new, it'll be much easier for you to just be in the moment of the movie, be present with it, and actually enjoy the laughter because you don't know what's coming, and it'll be genuinely funny. Okay, let's see what else we have. Wish upon a star. Make a wish and expect the very best. If there's a specific outcome that you're wanting with what's going on, go ahead and just make a wish. Expect the best. You can make that wish also to make it more powerful. When it comes to creation, you don't need to use any fancy anything. Like you don't need, cards, candles, crystals, sprays, essential oils. You use those things because they help facilitate you getting to a place where you believe that what you're doing is real, because that's what it takes to create. You have to be as close to that energy, that energetic and emotional state as you will be once it's realized. So you can use whatever sacramental items or whatever it's going to take to facilitate you getting as close to that emotional state as possible. So for example, like if I was going to make a wish, this is something I do often anyway. I do it when I light candles, when I take a soak in the evenings, or sometimes I'll just grab like my favorite dessert and I'll put a candle in it, pretend it's my birthday, and make a wish. Like when I blow this out later and I'm pulling the cards away, I'm gonna make a wish and blow that candle out. That's just it's a little thing you can do that makes it feel more believable and achievable for you. And then just sit back and let whatever is going to happen. But, wish for something, realistic. Like, it's funny, I'll tell you guys a story. There's a unicorn on this card. Like, wish for something realistic. I'm not saying unicorns are or aren't real. I'm just saying I haven't been able myself to verify that they're real. But I know some people really, really do believe in unicorns. But it's funny, when I was a kid on my birthday, every single year, I would wish for a unicorn, which is so funny. So guys, just be realistic. Wish for something that feels believable and achievable for you. But it's so funny because I did that to an unnaturally, I would say, a mature age. I was probably 14 was probably the last year that I stopped wishing for a unicorn on my birthday. And I would genuinely be disappointed each year, just thinking oh my gosh, I'm never going to get a unicorn, and not realizing that, okay, this is a fallacy animal that is not a real thing. But anyway, I like that card because it reminds me of that. But yeah, so just treat it like it's a birthday, and you make that wish with all your heart, like it's actually going to come true. Let's pull more from this deck. Ooh. I love when the cards jump out like that. Try something new. You'll only know that you can do something if you try. So this, I feel like I am specifically feeling like there's something that has presented that's an opportunity for a recreational activity. Perhaps you've been approached to join I don't know, an adult sport league or something is what's coming to me. You might have also been recruited at work to join, I want to say a recreational work group. You know how sometimes employers will orchestrate things where it's employees enjoying time together on your free time. Not that anyone really wants to do that, but that may be something that's coming up for some of you. Or if there is a new hobby that you're just wanting to try, or you've seen a new group around town and you're curious about it, this is just really calling for you to get out of the limitations that you put yourself in. And what's amazing about trying new things is that the more you try new things, the more, the easier it becomes for you to manifest and create things in your life that you're wanting, because it opens up the possibility and wonderment for you. You'll be on that energetic level where you're feeling wow, anything really can happen. I really can do anything. Trying something new also will help to boost your confidence. You know, it's interesting when we think of confidence, we always say, well, I'll do this when. I'll do this when I have the confidence to do it. But that's not what it takes to actually grow confidence. Confidence is it's just like building a muscle, right? So you're going to have to start using it before you start to see the gains. So you have to take those actions first, and then confidence is going to be a byproduct of taking those actions. This is a fun deck to work with, and it's feeling like magical today. I know this is a timeless reading, but if you're happening to watch close to when it's been posted, today is the first day. It's the autumnal equinox today, so it feels like a magical day. So I'm going to do another one from the unicorns deck. God, guides, spirit, angels, what else do you have for us today? What other message do you have for us right now? We got 2 there. I also want to say, if I'm talking really fast, or it seems like sometimes I talk really fast, whenever I'm channeling or information's coming through, sometimes it comes in quite fast. So I have to remind myself to try to slow down. But if I do that, I apologize, and I don't always get the full message through unless I speak at a pace that's like equal to the rate at which information is coming in. So that's why you'll hear my voice pick up at times. Curiosity. Start a project related to something you're curious about. So this could go, again, this is just really with the same theme of trying something new. But if you're curious about something, like let's say your interest is piqued or you want to know about something, you don't just have to be curious or always be wondering. Go ahead and delve in there, investigate, look it up. Try it out. Take it for a test experience. If you're curious about something, you owe it to yourself to indulge in that curiosity. That's part of what life is about. And what's amazing is that when you follow your curiosity, those things make you feel like a newborn baby again. You feel new to the planet. Everything that you experience feels a little bit different, feels a little bit new. And really, I've come to find for myself, that's one of the keys to really enjoying life, is I'm always trying to incorporate new things every single day, whether it be an experience, an interaction, a conversation. I'm always wanting to learn something new, because when I do that, it just feels like the world is full of unlimited possibilities. That's the reality anyway. But a lot of times we can just get locked into the mundane routines that we create. And that's when we start to lose the excitement for life. And that is always there. You can really capture that excitement every single day by doing these little things, by trying something new, making wishes, learning new things, and then also just trying out new things, experiencing new things, celebrating. The unicorns really wanted to come out today. I want a lot more. True. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys take a minute. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to, and just ask a question real quick, or think of a question pertaining to a truth that you want to know. Is something true? And your answer here is yes. What you're asking about is the truth. So I'm feeling like specifically some of you are wanting to know, can I trust my intuition? Or is what I think about this situation, is that accurate? Is that really what's going on here? Am I seeing or perceiving this correctly? So if you ask that question, leave me a comment. Whenever it is, doesn't matter. Let's say you're even watching this 5 years from now. Hopefully my channel will still be up. Go ahead and leave a comment if that's you. But definitely someone I feel like has asked that question. Yeah, it's true. You can trust your intuition. You can trust your instincts. And you are perceiving the situation accurately. And if you asked a different question, then that's okay too. But yeah, what you're asking about is absolutely true. Can I really do this? Yeah, absolutely. If it's with this, if you're, switching careers, or you're having to make a choice that's difficult, and you're like, can I really do this? This seems like a challenge. Am I capable? Absolutely. It's true. What you're asking about, it's your truth. It's okay to be different. You don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just the way you are. And this is just, I love when I like to use different decks, and I love when they mirror each other, and that's what it takes for us to retain things, right? Sometimes if we're learning something new, or if we really need something to stick, we need lessons in multiples. And so this came up. So again, it just goes in tandem with be yourself. Being yourself you know, it goes hand in hand with being different, embracing your uniqueness, knowing that your uniqueness is where your greatness lies. Okay, that's it with the unicorns. And let's see. I'm gonna pull from this deck. Okay, Spirit, what else do you have for us today? What other message needs to come out? Okay. Dolphin, don't worry, be happy. Oh, that's so awesome. Don't worry, go with the flow, be yourself. It's time to celebrate. You can make a choice. You know it's going to be good for you. You'll get to a point soon where things are effortless. You can just make a wish. Expect it to be delivered to you. Try that something new. Get a laugh. Don't worry, be happy. This whole spread is really just a call to let you know that things are going to be all right. And you know that they're going to be all right because they're already all right. Tell yourself, I am well, all is well. I can't remember who it was that said that, but that's like a famed affirmation from someone. But it's really powerful, and it's also so true. Especially if you feel like you're having a really hard time, you're struggling, don't worry, be happy. Especially if you are having a hard time and do have things to worry about. It's important to be happy because being happy and being on that frequency is going to create more events, circumstances, people, interactions, and things in your life that give you a reason to continue to be happy. That's what's so challenging, or can be challenging about stress, is that, you know, you got into a hole with it because the more you worry, the more you put out that vibration, the more worrisome situations will come back to your life, right? Because everything we experience is a mirror of self. And this is not about telling yourself that you're happy. Let's say you're not feeling good right now. You're not feeling happy. Do what you need to do to be in that energy, you know, be in that for a little bit, for however long you need, but don't plan to be there for a long time. Try to nurture yourself out of it. Cry if you need to. Release any lower vibrational emotions or energies however you see fit or you feel called to. And then afterward, do what you can to be in a state of happiness. So, you know, if that involves some of you are really needing to get social and feeling like, that's actually a message for me too. I never leave my house. I don't really interact with people and I need to. But for some of you, this means just being around other people. You can do things that really put you in a state of happiness without having to make an effort. And that's what it's going to take, because it can be really hard to convince yourself you're happy. And this is not about convincing. This is about being. You want to be happy, right? This doesn't say don't worry, try to be happy. It's don't worry, be happy. You need to be in the state of. So do something that you really enjoy. Try out that new activity. Indulge in something that you're already passionate about, that you know you enjoy. Try a hobby that you enjoy. Do something fun with loved ones. For those of you that have families or are in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, do something new together. Do something new together, or do something nostalgic together. You know, relive a past experience that you really enjoyed. Come up with a family game night or something. If you guys have a romantic partner, something that can really help you to just enjoy each other's company and feel like things are new again. You know, plan a date that is an experience that neither of you have had before. And that's one of the ways as well to like instill that excitement and that vibrancy and that newness back into a relationship that you've had for a long time or a while, or if it's starting to feel dull, or like you're just like, gosh, this is the same old with the same old every day. Again, that person can look shiny and brand new to you, and you can feel that newness again by doing new things together. So maybe sign up for an art class if you haven't done that. Maybe sign up to take some dance lessons together. You could also try to learn a new language together. That's coming up. That'd be something really enjoyable. You could be learning together, taking class together, and then you'll have each other to, you know, to test out what you've learned on, and cook something new together. Make a dinner that you've never made before where both of you make it. Listen to some new music together. Watch a movie you haven't watched before. If you guys like to get outdoors, and you should be getting outdoors because it will help you to be happy. It's really grounding. It can help to balance mind, body, and spirit. Go take even just a day trip to a place you've not been before. Bring a picnic, bring a book, bring your journal. Just enjoy each other's company. Enjoy being in the outdoors. Just enjoy being in a space where you can look at the surroundings, the different surroundings, and just take that all in. This is a really pleasant spread. But you know, it's interesting because even though like this overall looks very cheery and happy and optimistic, I do feel like what has happened, like the catalyst to this even coming out, this is only feeling so lighthearted and fun and happy because what's going on is really heavy. And I know that because I'm feeling it like, I'm feeling it in my body, like I'm feeling it in my chest. And it's interesting because I know no one's watched this yet, but whoever this is for, when you're watching, I know that you're going through something really heavy, but what you're going through is not what's creating the heaviness. It's actually what you've already been through that's pushing into that heaviness. So you need to be releasing that load as much as you can. And the way you're going to facilitate that release is by what we've said here today and what's come out. But I am feeling called to do more, so we're going to continue shuffling, see what else Spirit has for you guys. Spirit, what else do you have for us? What other messages can you add to this? Okay, divine magic has come out. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Wish upon a star. Expect the very best that we had here. And then you're just knowing there's a lot of magical energy that's surrounding this situation. Expect a miracle. Expect a miracle. If you expect a miracle, you'll get a miracle. Miracles exist. They're real. They happen. If you get to a certain age, you've most likely experienced a miracle, or you know someone who has, and you know undeniably that it was a miraculous event that took place. If you're having a hard time believing in this divine magic, believing in the miracles that exist, there are lots of wonderful books, documentaries, YouTube videos of people talking about their experience with miracles, unexplainable things. So if you're having a hard time believing in miracles, seek out that information. Seek wise counsel, spiritual teaching. Look into those things. If you're curious about it, you know, the curiosity card, it's okay. Go ahead, look that up. If that's what it takes to get you in that state of believing. And it's important that you do believe. You've got to believe, and you've got to expect the best. Expect that miracle. Because if you are having a hard time believing, it's going to be very hard for something to be delivered to you in a miraculous way, especially if you think miracles don't exist, or you believe they exist for other people but couldn't possibly happen for you. That's going to be a blockage. So do what you can to start getting into that state of feeling like, wow, there is a lot of possibility and wonder here, and I am going to wait for a miracle to come up. Let's see. I am going to pull, let's do more from the fairy set. Hey, Spirit, what else do you have for us? Ooh. Too many fall out. Okay, what else do you have for us, Spirit? What other messages can you give us right now? Okay. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. That new, better part, that's where it's going to be effortless. Make that choice that you're needing to make. Go with the flow. Go with this new flow. And know that what you're coming out of, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even, and tell yourself, affirm that. This is going to be even better than I can possibly imagine. I'm going to fully embrace this. I'm going to go with that flow. I'm going to nurture myself along that flow, along the way. do things that keep me inspired, learning, trying new things, experiencing new things, deepening my belief. But if you're feeling like, gosh, I feel like someone's feeling like that, I've been having such a hard time for so long. When am I coming out of this? Am I ever going to be in a good place? Yeah, you definitely are. You're right on the cusp of it. And that's the sign that you're needing. And sometimes, you know, you might feel like you're having a hard time, but then when you look back and you're doing better, you look back and think, wow, that was a really beautiful time in my life. Even if it feels challenging right now. Because you ever notice how, you know, sometimes when you go through the worst things in life, you weather the worst storms, and then afterward, you just come into the most beautiful experience, or that next phase is just magical beyond what you could have even imagined for yourself. So just know that that's coming. Let's see, okay, Spirit, what else do you have for us? Ooh. The same themes are coming up. Connect with nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. Continue to do that if you are already doing it. Make sure you're grounding when you're outside. I know I've mentioned that in other videos. Whom do you need to forgive? This has come out more than once. Releasing old anger or resentment. You will find your wishes come true. And I mentioned a forgiveness practice you can try. It's a Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono. And you go through 4 different steps of saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And you imagine who it is that's needing that forgiveness. Most of the time it's going to be you. You'll want to do this practice in regard to yourself. Ideally while you're looking in the mirror at yourself. And in between each statement, just allow yourself to feel whatever comes up. And you'll just keep reaffirming that over and over and over again. Try to do it for even 10 minutes. And it's really important, even when it comes to forgiveness of others, if you are not granting yourself forgiveness when you feel that you've done something wrong, or you feel that you've done something that warrants needing forgiveness, you can't possibly begin that journey to forgiveness with a person outside of you. And doing that as well, you release that energy when you're forgiving someone. And this doesn't have to be in relation to current circumstances. This could be someone you're needing to forgive from years ago, even from when you were a child. And then once you do that, it's like goodbye to the old, hello to the new. But in order for you to be able to welcome in that new, you have to release the old. We only have so much emotional capacity and things that we can keep. And if you have a lot going on that's really holding you back, you've got to release that in order to embrace the new blessings and miracles that you're wanting to come into your life. Okay, I'm going to pull from the Ascended Masters deck and see what Master is wanting to give advice right now. Ascended Masters, what message do you have for us? Too many came out. What messages do you have for us? There we go. Trust Vishnu. So overall, trusting the process, trusting that your miracle is coming. Trust that it's true, you're going to get what you're asking for. Trust that being yourself and going with the flow is going to yield the end result that you're wanting. Trusting that making that wish, it will be delivered, that miracle will come. And again, while you're doing this, while you're trusting, you're going to be facilitating and nurturing yourself through that process by doing the grounding, doing the forgiveness practice, being yourself, staying as true to self as you can, getting a laugh when possible, and then celebrate. Celebrate little things along the way. You can celebrate anytime. You can turn anything into a celebration. I'm someone who, I really like to create my own holiday type things and my own little experiences and my own little like rituals for celebrations. And you can do that any day. You know, it's like Taco Tuesday. Like create your own thing, you know. It's like make a wish, or birthday Saturday, something. I don't know, but do that. And when you do that, again, the excitement will come back into your life. So start feeling joy, wonderment. You'll feel like there's lots of opportunity. You'll start feeling like, wow, I can have anything. It just doing things like that, expanding your experiences, it will expand the possibilities that you now feel are available to you as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pull from the Life Changes deck as well. Spirit, what do you have for us? What message do you have for us? What message is needing to be seen right now? Okay. Family changes. Okay. So this is going back to the, I know I mentioned at the beginning, if you're going through something that was not a change that you wanted or something that was of your own choosing, you know, sometimes we are just circumstances and things happen. They're not what we want. They're not what we expect. If this familial change, and I actually do feel like the familial change here, if it's pertaining to you, it's having to do with a split. And the familial change, it doesn't feel like the loss of someone. It just feels like the loss of how things were, needing to grieve that loss of how you wanted things to be, how you expected them to be, and now the acceptance and getting into the flow of how they're inevitably going to be going forward. And that's probably why all these things are coming up, to facilitate joy, happiness, optimism, because what's happened here is really out of your control, unfortunately, I do feel like. For some of you, I do feel like this has to do with custody of children. Perhaps someone's been granted more custody than you were wanting, or you were given less than you were wanting. And also the familial change, it could just be the separation of family, like the severing of ties, the parting of ways between a union. Whether you were married or you just had this person you have children with, and now you've decided, you know, this isn't working, we're going to part ways, we'll live separately. Splitting the children with time, that's going to be, of course, a really difficult thing to navigate, but it's important too, where you're trying something new, wishing upon a star, make sure you're laughing if there are children involved, doing that with them too, making wishes with them, you know, making sure you're happy with them, getting out in nature with them, talking to them about miracles. There are children involved here. There are lots of wonderful stories that are available. You can find them online. Again, there's a lot of written literature about this, miracles with children, miraculous stories that are appropriate for children to hear, specifically geared toward, you know, children. Watching movies with miracles in them. Trying new things with them. And if you're going through that, you know, my heart is with you. Of course, family things, family dynamics are challenging enough, even if families are together. But of course, the severing of the idea of what family would look like, that can be absolutely devastating. There's no denying that, and I don't want to sugarcoat that, because I know it's a heartbreaking experience to go through. But at this point, you are being called to surrender and allow what's happened has happened. There's no need to fight this. Be in the flow. That flow and acceptance will get you to that place where, again, this is going to feel effortless. It'll feel good. I would dare say it'll even feel better, because I do feel like if there's a separating here of you know, parents, you might not see it right now, but on the other side of this, it's better than it's been. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, it's been great. It hasn't been great. If there's a parting of ways, it hasn't been great. That might have been your perception. But once you go through the dissolution of something and you experience it, when you're looking from the outside, you can see how maybe some areas were, you know, blind spots for you, or you didn't want to acknowledge what the realities and truths were. I'm going to pull another one from the Life Changes deck, because I do feel like there's another scenario that needs to come up here. What else do you have for us? And this will be the last card. What other change is happening here? Sentimental feelings. Well, that's just going in tandem with the family changes. You're gonna have to grieve this loss. You're gonna have to forgive, release that old anger and resentment, as we mentioned before, with the whom do you need to forgive card. Honoring those sentimental feelings. And it's okay to reminisce. I feel like you're needing to do that. Look back at happier times. Work on creating new happy memories, new celebratory things, new holidays, making up your own family holidays. It's okay to get emotional. You need to support yourself through releasing that emotion. Do it surrounded by a good support system. You know, whether you're talking to like a therapeutic clinician, or you're talking to a close friend, or perhaps a family member or relative that's been through a similar circumstance, that can be really nurturing to you and help facilitate that healing as well. Give yourself permission to feel however you feel, whenever you feel it. That's the thing when it comes to releasing emotion. There's no specific thing to do other than just allow yourself to fully feel what you're feeling. Try not to be judgmental. Of course, I know naturally judgment does come up, self-judgment, judgment of others, but that's okay. You can power through that. You can still be releasing even though you're feeling that. And the way you're going to get through that is to just continue releasing and allowing yourself to feel things when they come up. Definitely don't stifle anything. If you're feeling anger, resentment, rage, even for some of you, do what you can to facilitate that coming out of the body. There are a lot of really phenomenal physical activities that you can engage in that will help the release of those heavier emotions. There's this thing, it's called a rage room. And they have locations all around the country. And there are even places that have dart throwing, or wait, what is it? Axe throwing? I think it's called bad axe. Axe throwing, that could be a really good way to release like anger or frustration. But this rage room, so essentially what you do, you go in and you're covered in like protective gear and things. And there are just a bunch of breakables in the room, and you're given like a baseball bat or a mallet, and you get to just break things. You get to just go at it. So I would really encourage you, if you're dealing with rage, anger, some heavier emotions, try to do something like that. Take that emotion out. Ideally, if you can have someone there facilitating that release for you. I don't know that therapists do this, but it's not going to hurt to ask. Ask if they would be, if you are currently seeing a clinician, ask if they would be open to helping facilitate that for you, meaning that you kind of phase into it. And then they're also assisting you when you're done with the process. So then it's safe for you. You're left feeling like you're in an emotionally balanced place. And if you're doing it on your own, perhaps just do a journal entry prior, and then when you're coming out, so that you're nurturing yourself again in and out of that. But that's a really good way to get some of those heavier emotions, especially if it's anger, rage, you're just so frustrated. That's a phenomenal way to get it out of you. Really any like impact sport, or I don't know if you would call it an impact sport, but going to batting cages, that would really help. Going to boxing, that could be really beneficial. Find what you enjoy. If you're not able to get out, or you don't have the freedom you feel like to go do something like that, or maybe you don't have the financial means right now, you can even just punch a pillow. Punch a pillow and get out your emotions. Yell at that pillow if you can. Of course, not if the little ones are around. But if you get time to yourself, you can even like scream in your car, like not while you're driving, but drive somewhere secluded and just belt it out. Just get it out. Just scream, cry, say everything you want to say to that person. Have a good cry, have a good release. And then just make sure anytime you're releasing somewhere, I would always encourage people to release outside of the home, because you don't want that energy lingering there. And then you're going to ask the universe to like purify that energy, bring it back to the divine white healing light, purify it and cleanse it, like filter it so that it's positive again. But if you are releasing at home, it's really important afterward that you're purifying and cleansing your space of that energy. You don't want that energy to be stagnant and lingering in the home, because it can further feed lower vibrational energies and emotions and just make you feeling lower than you were before you did the release. So ideally you're going to want to sage afterward, or smudge. So you burn dried sage, and you're just going to say something like, I am now breaking up and releasing all energies, all stagnant energies. I'm breaking up and releasing any energies that are lower vibration and don't serve me. You can open a window and just imagine that darker energy leaving your space. You don't have to do that. It's just the intention behind it and what you're feeling. Whatever you feel is effective is what it's going to take to facilitate it actually being effective. If you can't deal with smoke, or you don't have access to sage, you can do this just with words. You can also look up, there are some really good videos on YouTube. They're called clearing. It's just called clearing music, I think. Specifically the ones with bells or singing bowls. type in Bell's clearing energy. I know there's a really good 15-minute one. That's what I use in my home. I smudge as well, but I also use the bell clearing music just because I like the sound of it. But it just, or you can find chime music or something, and yeah, just play that and just imagine the energies leaving the home. Open windows if you need to. So really important, whatever you're going through, anytime you are releasing those darker energies, just make sure you clear them out. Same thing, even if you do this in your vehicle, definitely clear them out, because you don't want those those frequencies, you know, kind of hanging out where you're in your vehicle. You need to be very focused and, you know, attentive while you're driving, especially those of you that do have those little ones involved here. So make sure you're clearing that energy out of the vehicle as well. Okay, this was quite a spread, but all good stuff here. For those of you that are having a challenging, difficult time, I feel you. My heart is with you. I know things are not always easy, but know that they are meant to be. Even if you're having a difficult time, it can be beautiful. It can be a time when you look back and you're like, wow, I got through that and I was okay. And I'm really proud of myself that I was able to get through it the way that I did. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, wherever you're at, whatever time of day it is for you. And if you are going into the evening and needing to release, it would be a really good idea to perhaps get out some emotions before you decide to turn in for the night. So do a journal entry if you need to release, or do one of these you know, releasing practices that I've mentioned in other videos if you're familiar with those. Go ahead and do that before bed so you can get a really good sleep and go to bed a little more lighthearted. Okay, I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.